Hello and welcome to everybody here at the World Rookie Freeski Qualifications round. It is the finals here in Madonna di Campiglio. We just started off with the first rider. It's going to be a 2-run competition here for the qualification round. And then we're going to have the finals tomorrow. First rider to drop in is Kalle Palkinen with this sick right side 1440 double on the kicker, going for that switch up 450. Sorry, not switch up, but little pretzel out. 270 in on the down tube, and then sending it all the way to the end of the course. This is our course. What a beautiful day here in Madonna di Campiglio here for the World Rookie Freeski Finals. It is qualifications day. We are starting off the day with Kalle Palkinen dropping in for his first run. 2 runs in heat number 1, 2 runs in heat number 2. It's going to be an exciting day. The sun is out. There's no wind. Conditions are pretty much perfect. The whole crew are killing it. So it is going to be an exciting day here in Madonna di Campiglio. Second rider to drop in from Austria, we have Raphael Natter. A lot of young riders, of course. We're talking about the World Rookie Freeski Finals. Most of the talents that you're going to see in these 2 days will be the future, are already the future of free skiing. Sending it on the second jump, straight up on the third feature. This nice left side 1260 double for the Austrian rider. Sweet little 450 out from the up rail, and then closes down his run with this little switch up. Pretty satisfied, Mr. Raphael Natter. It's going to be the 2-run format. Best run counts in this case. Nice little right side 900 starting things off. Switch 900. And then this left side 1260. It's going to be quite a battle to get into the finals. Top 8 riders from each heat will move on to the finals that will take place tomorrow, still here in Madonna di Campiglio. We're going to have another live session here all together. Hopefully it's going to be nice and sunny like today. Really perfect kind of conditions. Right now, sun is out, good visibility, and the riders have been training for this whole morning. Big thanks also to the whole organizing crew, of course, and the whole team that actually built up this awesome park. Just waiting for the judges to just score Raphael Natter. And now Neo Zing from Switzerland. Switzerland, definitely one of the national teams that has been working at its best in the freestyle world. Starting off in switch. Nice switch bio on the first kicker. Nice little axis. And then the right side 720. Little short on the second kicker. And then going for the right side double cork 1080. 3 full rotations for the Swiss rider. He's almost completing his first run of 2. Best one counts. Only 8 riders will pass from each heat. This is heat number 1. We have just started our beautiful day here in Madonna di Campiglio. Of course, one of the most important venues for freestyle skiing in Italy and in Europe. Great park, great conditions. Sending it nice and deep on the last kicker. And then a sweet little 270 in, 270 out to finish things off. It's going to be very important for each rider to actually work on every single section of the course. A lot of creativity required to satisfy all the criterias, of course, related to the scoring system, amplitude, technicality, and creativity, and of course, flow. Flow is definitely one of the most important factors to take into account when completing a run. So how do you actually connect each feature? How do you ride out of each trick? How do you maintain your composure in the air? The easier you make it look, the better it is, usually. So if you see an easy trick, it's definitely probably not an easy trick as in simple to complete, but it might actually be close in the best way possible. And that's what we're looking for. Style and precision. Now, one of the only riders, actually the only rider without a bib, you can see from his hoodie on his sleeves, number 631, Leo Brucic from Austria, sending it for his run number 1, riding in switch on the second jump, switch 900, 2.5 full rotations, and then going for the right side. So left side, the 1260, can't hold on the landing. Damn, it's going to be a throwaway run for Leo Brucic. But he still has one more chance to get into the finals. And now back with our Swiss national team, Armando Luca Stiger, for his run number 1, class 2012, guys. Super young athlete from Switzerland in the Grom category. Of course, there is a difference between the rookie and the Groms. They're going to be competing all together, but there's going to be a separate podium for the younger kids that, of course, are competing in these World Rookie Tour Finals. Great history related to this competition, these competitions. And we see run number 1 for Armando Luca. Nice little 540 corked out on the first kicker. Left side, 900 on the second jump. And then a switch 540 to close things off on the third jump. Rail section, 270 in, pretzel 270 out on the last feature. Pretty smooth run by the Swiss rider for his run number 1. Let's see a little replay. Super corked out bio 540 on the first kicker, and then opens up a little bit on the last jump, so might lose a couple points on the last feature, and then a nice 450 out on the straight tube, and then switch 270 in, 270 out on the last feature. And now back to Finland. We started things up with Kalle Palkinen for his run number 1. And now we have another Finnish rider, William Kangas. So this is our competition format for today. We're talking about qualifications. We're going to have the finals tomorrow, so set an alarm. Reconnect yourself with the World Rookie Freeski Finals tomorrow for the finals. But right now, these athletes, these young athletes, going to have to compete to get into these finals. Only 8 riders will pass through from each heat. We are in heat number 1. Nice little pretzel 450 out. Tail butter in on the rail, definitely adding a little element of creativity and style in this case. William Kangas sending it on the last jump with this left side a double 1080. Pretty satisfied with his run. What a beautiful day here in Madonna di Campiglio. If you've just connected yourself, we are here for the qualification round of the World Rookie Freeski Finals. Our riders will have 2 runs each. They are divided into 2 heats. Nice little right side 1080 for our Italian Alex Putzer. Left side 900 going quite deep, and then switch double 1080 on the last jump. Pretty deep and technical on this second part of the course. He has to close down his full run, hoping for a spot in the finals, and he does it. Closes down his run. Nice little switch up on the last feature. Good run by our Italian rider Alex Putzer. Sending it on the first feature. Left side double 1260 actually on the second jump. I didn't actually realize. And yeah, switch double 1080. So definitely one of the most technical run we've seen so far in this first part of the competition. Excellent first run. Definitely puts a bit of stress out of the way. Closing down the first run of the quali rounds. And we move on with another Swiss rider, Leon Monin, Grom men. So the younger category, they are divided into rookie and Grom. They're all competing together. Of course, in this heat, there will be a general ranking for this competition, but then it will also be divided for the Grom. Sending it deep with this double 1080 on the last jump. And then heading over to the last 2 feature of the course. Oh, gets it out. Doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the rail, but holds on to his first run. Leon Monen. We're going to see what the judges think of this run. And we move on to another Italian rider, Jakob Eichner, on his run number 1, right side, 540 on the first jump. Goes in switch on the second one. Nice little switch, bio 900. Nice little axis on that jump. And then closes things down with this left side 1080. He has to bring it home all the way to the bottom with his 450 out. And then switch up all the way down to the end of the last tube. Now moving on with bib number 647, Maciej Skarbek Malczewski from Poland. Our first Polish rider of the day. 4 Polish riders actually in heat number 1, a couple in heat number 2. Definitely bringing a good and solid field of riders and skiers here in Madonna di Campiglio. What a sunny day, what a beautiful day. No, not much wind actually. It's going to be an exciting qualification round. Only 8 riders will pass through. Not a full run by Maciej. Unfortunately, couldn't insert all the tricks he wanted to. Not enough speed on the last jump, but he does have another possibility here in the qualification round in order to dream a spot into the finals of tomorrow. So stay connected with us. Tomorrow we will have the big finals. It's going to be a very, very exciting day for all of these riders. It is the World Rookie Freeski Finals, so it's going to close down the whole tour. What a history. This is the breaking grounds for the next generations in the freeski world. I'm going to see these riders all around the international fields in the near future. Some are already inserted in the international field, but this is definitely one of the best places to prove yourself within the international world of free skiing. And we are excited to have it here in Madonna di Campiglio. Goes a little bit short. Szymon Mietus from Poland. See a little replay. Landed a little bit short on the second jump. That Misty 7 unfortunately couldn't make it all the way around. Fortunately losing fair amount of speed on the second jump. Can't really complete the last feature. But he does have a little more possibilities. Of course, second run here in Madonna di Campiglio. What a park, what a condition in general. We have another Italian right now, Tobias Longa, sending it for his run number 1. Opens up a little bit on the right side, 720 on the second jump. Left side going nice and deep. This left side 900. And of course approaching in switch the last feature. 270 in, 270 out on the last rail. Closes down his run. A full pull. He can definitely improve his tricks on the jumps. We're going to see a little replay of the first couple of features. Lands a little bit short on this jump. Definitely the judges are going to be very, very careful to analyze each of these performances. Of course, we're talking about amplitude, technicality, so how difficult, how many rotations you can complete within these jumps. And of course, creativity and flow, connecting each one of the features in the smoothest way possible. It is probably one of the most important features of our beautiful freestyle world. And so we move on with our German rider, Leander Kramer, sending it on the first feature. Tries to gain some speed for the second. Jumps, lands a little bit short on that 360, but then goes absolutely bananas on the last jump. Goes nice and deep with this left side 720. And then 450 out from the tube. Definitely struggling a little bit with the speed. And then going switch. Not so satisfied with his first run. But Leander, come on, you got another run. Class 2011, guys, in the Grom category. One of the youngest riders, of course, a lot of 2011s. Youngest rider is actually our last rider for heat number 1. We're going to have 2 heats this morning today. And that is Bartłomiej Mietus from Poland, class 2014, guys. Super, super young rider. So good to see all these new generations here in Madonna di Campiglio. They're definitely going to be the future of free skiing. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing, amazing show tomorrow for the finals. But to get into the finals, you have to land your run, one of the 2 runs available for these qualification rounds. Dennis Ehrmann, another German rider, ready for his first run. Goes for the right side, 720, lands a little bit short. And then the left side, 720. Still a little bit of speed issues in this case. I don't know if some wind picked up or it's just a matter, a little bit of weight, of course. Of course, if you're heavier, you will go down the track faster. In this case, these very young athletes don't have a lot of weight on them. And yes, sometimes it could be can create a little bit of trouble with speed. No problem with speed on that first jump, going absolutely crazy on that switch bio 900, but then loses a bit of momentum on the second and third jump. Nice little 450 out on the up rail, and then landing or approaching in switch the last rail. Very smooth the last section. Last two features definitely were a lot cleaner than the second and third jump, but there is another run available to get into the first 8 position for today. And another Finnish rider, Lenni Lintula, for his first run, sending it. Let's see a little replay. Going for that switch 540 on the first feature. Nice misty 720, going super corked on that second feature. And I'm starting to get also some scores for today. We already have almost 14 riders. Actually, 14 riders completed their run number 1. So I have 3 riders remaining for run number 1. Currently, we have our Alex Putzer in first position with a score of 93. A massive score for our Italian. He did actually stomp a very, very technical jump section with some 1260s, a switch double 1080 on the last jump, and then followed very closely by Kalle Palkinen in second position with a 90. So 2 massive scores. I'm pretty sure these 2 riders have a 100% chance of getting into the finals. I don't think we will see 6 riders that will score higher than 93. So amazing first runs by the Italian rider Alex Putzer and the Finnish rider Kalle Palkinen. And followed quite closely by Rafael Natter in third position with a 70. Definitely wants to improve his score in run number 1. But yeah, today's objective is actually just to be in the first 8 position. And let's see, run number 1 by Stefan Drabik from Poland. Left side 720. Really crouches down to speed up things on the second jump. Lands quite deep on the last feature. And then nice little 270 out from the tube. And slides all the way down on the last feature. So a full run. Not as technical maybe as the top run. Not as technical as the top runs, but he still has one more chance to up his technicality and his creativity and flow to maybe get into the first positions. The objective today is to get into the first 8 position. Hello guys, welcome to Madonna di Campiglio here for the World Rookie Fest. It is actually sunny outside. It is a beautiful day. It is not windy. The conditions seem to be actually quite good. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting day for all the riders. They have to get into the first 8 positions today, 2 runs to get into the finals. And then tomorrow, it's going to be the big day for the World Rookie Freeski Finals, where we will crown our next champion. Last rider of the heat number 1 is Bartłomiej Mietus from Poland, class 2014. Going for his first run. Starting things off in switch 540, 1.5 rotations on the first feature. Left side 720. On the second jump, goes for a straight jump. Probably didn't feel like he had enough speed on the last feature. And then closes things off, sliding on the flat tube. Nice little butter box style tube in that feature, and then slides all the way to the bottom of the last rail with a nice little 50-50. Not sure this will be enough, actually. I don't think this will be enough to enter the first 8 positions, but we still have a lot of runs that have not been completed at their maximum potential. Currently, we have in 8th position Armando Luca Steger from Switzerland with a 46.67. Quick reminder of the scoring system. It is from 0 to 100. 100 is the highest score possible to achieve within this competition. It is not like other aerobatic disciplines where you have to decide your trick before you drop in. For you guys, probably it's a lot of specialists are connected right now. But if you're a little bit new to this competition, let me just go back to this first run for Anthony Grellet, the Swiss. Oh, a little bit of a fall on the second jump. I hope he's okay. Standing up, no problem, but he was definitely sending it. Good job on the first feature. Going for that switch double, 900, 2.5 rotations, twice out of axis. And then, yeah, a little mistake on the second jump. So I think actually the rider was Kalle Palkinen. We're still in heat number 1, and now we have Rafael Natter with his bib number 630. That was not Anthony Grellet on the previous run. We're going to see heat number 2 in the near future. We're going to complete heat number 1. Then we're going to have a reshape of the park, a little bit of a training session, an hour, more or less. And after that, of course, we're going to start with qualifications. Heat number 2 here in Madonna di Campiglio. Rafael Natter currently in 3rd position with a 70. Definitely wants to improve his score. Lands nice and smooth at this right side 900 on the first jump. Bio 900 on the second jump. And then goes for the left side double. 1260 lands nice and deep. He can definitely improve his first score of 70. It is looking like an excellent run. 450 out from the rail, approaching it in switch, and then gaps and does a little switch up to 70 out, ending his run. A nice and smooth authoritarian run by Rafael Natter, definitely stomping every single trick and bringing in a lot of flow into his run. Judges love it when you connect in a smooth manner all of the tricks. Let's see what the judges think, but that's definitely going to improve his first score of 70. Potentially getting him a little closer to Kalle Palkinen. I don't think it's going to be enough to get over 90 points. Currently we have our 8th position with Armando Lukas-Steger in 8th place with a 46.67, followed by Lenny Lintula in 7th place, 48.33. These are the most uncomfortable positions right now. Of course, they didn't complete the runs in the best manner, but they will still have another chance to improve their scoring. And we did get Rafael Natter's score 80.33, so improving from his 70 in run number 1. But now we're back on track with the Swiss rider Neozing, currently in 4th position. Ooh, holds on to it. Little bobble on the landing. Can't really hold the rotations. Not fully considered as a revert, but very, very close to not controlling that landing. And judges are definitely going to be careful in analyzing that specific landing. 270 in, 270 out to close down his run on the last feature. Went nice and deep on that right side, a double 1260. 3.5 rotations for Neozing. See if that's going to be enough to improve his first score of 59. And now Leo Brucic from Austria. Currently sitting out of the first 8 positions. Pretty big mistake for him with a score of 14.87. Lands a little bit short on the switch. 900 has to hold on to his position. Lands a little bit short once again on that left side at 900, but manages to get through the jump section. Now he has to smooth up this last section of the course. Switch in 450 out, and then nice little 270 in, 270 out to close things out. Goes out of the rail a little bit early. It's going to weigh on the final score for sure. And we'll see if this is going to be enough to place him within the first 8 position. It is a full run. It is a full run. The score to beat is the one of Armando Lukas-Steger with 46.67. He has to go above this score to dream a spot in the finals. And then, of course, he has to kind of hope that nobody else does higher scores. That is how our sport works. Meanwhile, Neozing did not improve his first score. He has to hold on to his 59. He is currently in 4th position, so that's pretty good and solid placement. temporary placement, but a lot of riders did not close their runs. So it is now time to put some pressure on this ranking. And the Swiss rider Armando Luca Steger definitely wants to move out of this bubble position. The bubble, the famous bubble, is that very, very uncomfortable position where you are barely qualified. You're the last rider qualified. But if you have a lot of riders that still have to close their runs, you definitely want to be as far away as possible on the top side of the ranking, of course, not on the lower side of the ranking, to make sure that you get through to the finals. 8 riders will go through. Super corked out, Bio 540 on the first jump. Left side 900, loses his ski, somehow manages to hold on to it. But unfortunately, Armando Luca Steger does not improve his first score and is actually out of the top 8 positions with a 46.67, barely out of the first 8 positions, but unfortunately does not have another chance. 2 chances were the ones that were present today for the qualification round. But still a great show by the Swiss rider, showing a lot of skill, of course. But long career ahead of these riders. Long career also for William Kangas, the Finnish rider, going for the left side, double cork 1080. Right side 720. Doesn't really get the grab that well. Grabs are very important, guys. And then a little pretzel 630 out. So sending it on the rails. Closes down his run. I think the only big mistake was on the third jump. Let's see a little replay. Switch 540, goes for this nice and smooth left side 1080, and then closes things down with this right side 720. It is also very important to ride in all directions, left side, right side, and of course insert a switch trick. 3 jumps are available, so you have to rotate in 3 different directions. And now our current leader for heat number 1, we have Alex Putzer. He has a score of 93. I don't think he will need to improve his score to get into the finals, but he might do a little test ride for tomorrow. Still sending it deep. Nice switch double 1080. Actually has it on lock on that last feature in safety grab. 450 out on the rail, approaching it in a switch, and then a nice little switch up on the rail 270 out. Definitely one of the riders to focus on in tomorrow's finals. Let's see if he can bring this quality also into the final rounds, but he has been riding in an amazing manner. Alex Putzer, definitely very, very solid athlete. Super young athlete. And now with bib number 616, Leon Monin. Oh, goes a little deep, but holds on to that right side. A 900 now in the switch with the switch bio. 900 lands a little bit short. Probably lost a little bit of speed on the first jump, but manages to get through with that left side double 1080, 3 full rotations, 2 times off axis. Pretzel 450 out on the flat tube. He's pretty stoked about his run. He was he was actually in a pretty uncomfortable position with a 14th place and a 33.33. So this will definitely improve his score. The score to beat right now is the one of Lenny Lintula, which is currently in the bubble with a 48.33. Lenny Lintula that still has to complete his second run of the day. But we're going to see where Leon Monin will be inserted within this ranking. If you've just joined us, welcome to Madonna di Campiglio. Welcome to the World Rookie Freeski Finals. It is qualification day here in Madonna di Campiglio. Conditions are perfect for the riders. No wind, sun is out, visibility is excellent. These are the conditions we want to see during a freestyle competition. So waiting for a score. Jacob Eichner waiting. Of course, the judges have to do a lot of work in this case. Of course, one of the hardest jobs, I think, in freestyle is definitely judging these talents. But run number 2 for Jakob Eichner. Going in, switch on the second jump. Ooh, holds on to it somehow with that switch 900. And then going big with that left side 1080. Holds on to that as well. Nice and deep for our Italian rider, currently in 10th position with a 42.33. Meanwhile, Leon Monin did not improve his score particularly, getting a 38.33. in 12th position, so not in the first 8 positions. And now we will have to wait and see if our other Italian will actually get through. This was the main mistake in his run. A little bit of indecision in the first part of the rotation, then holds on to it, but will definitely be considered as a mistake in this case. And yeah, this is our current situations. Conditions are perfect right now. The riders have been sending it all morning. We have one of the best scores right here of our Italian, Alex Putzer, who has been sending it all morning. Lands also his second run, so goes and improves even more his score with a 95.00. So definitely a show to watch here already in the qualifications round. We've started to see double 1260s, double 1080s. It's gonna go improving as we go on with the finals tomorrow, and with the heat number 2 this afternoon. We will be starting with the qualification round for heat 2 at precisely 1:30, 13.30. And yeah, it's going to be a show here in Madonna di Campiglio. Meanwhile, from Poland, Maciej Skarbek sending it on his last feature, slides down all the way to the bottom. Doesn't insert any rotations in or out, but we will see if it'll be enough to get into the first 8 positions. Switch 540 on the first jump. Nice little left side 720, 2 full rotations. And then a nice 360 on the third jump. Smooth run by the Polish rider. We're going to see if that is going to be enough to beat the score of Lenny Lintula, who has a score of 48.33 currently. And is actually still holding on to that 8th position. A lot of pressure for all of these riders. Simon Mietus is also out of the first 8 positions. A bit of a mistake on this second jump. Oh, another mistake on the third jump. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough for Simon Mietus to get into the first 8 positions. Judges have been very careful in analyzing, of course, all of the performances by these young athletes. Don't be fooled by their ages. These are actually some of the best athletes in the world in Europe, and they are here in Madonna di Campiglio for the finals of the World Rookie Freeski Tour. And now we have Tobias Longa. Nice little Bio 900, switch Bio 900 to a right side 720. And a left side 900, 2.5 rotations on the third jump. Now in switch. 270 out from the rail. And closes things out with a smooth rail section. Tobias Longa currently in 6th position. We still have 5 riders to drop for their run number 2 here at the World Rookie Freeski qualification rounds for the finals. Tomorrow we're going to have the finals at 1:30 p.m. We will begin with the heat number 2 of today. Same criteria, 2 runs for each rider. And yeah, best run counts, and only 8 riders will pass through from each heat. Now we have Leander Kramer, currently in 13th place, going massive on the last jump. Nice little 720 left side on the last feature. 450 out on the straight tube, little kind of butterbox style, and then switch up, goes out in switch on the last feature. Maybe not the most technical tricks on the jumps. I'd say the best one was definitely this switch Bio 900, nice and deep, nice and controlled, and then a big left side 720. We're going to see if that is going to be enough to join our 8 riders in the first 8 positions. Currently, our leader is Alex Putzer from Italy. 95 points, massive score. Then we have Kalle Palkinen with a 90. Rafael Natter in 3rd position with an 80.33. And then a pretty considerable drop from the 3rd to the 4th place with a 20-point difference between Neozing and Rafael Natter. But the positions that need to be taken into considerations are definitely the 6th, 7th, and 8th position, because we're very close to the end of run number 2 in this case, and things might change. So mathematically qualified are the first 4 athletes. So Alex Putzer, Kalle Palkinen, Rafael Natter, Neozing qualified. Let's see if Dennis Ehrman has what it takes to get into the first 8 position. Right side 720. Crouches to gain a little bit of speed, and then a nice big left side double 1080. Nice, and stomped on the third jump. 450 out. No, little mistake on the landing of that rail. Reverts. Can't really control the edges on that landing of the rail. I don't think it's gonna be enough, unfortunately. For Dennis Ehrman, born in 2013, Grom category. The athletes are divided into 2 categories, Grom and Rookie. Rookie are the little older. I don't know if I should use the term older, because they're still class 2010, 2009, 2011. But there's going to be a ranking that will include all of the riders, because you never know. You might have a Grom athlete that could actually get on the podium. And then a other ranking that will be completed tomorrow, of course, with the Grom category. So the younger generation, the generation that will lead free skiing into this beautiful future. And we're getting a glimpse of our finals right here in our quali days. Lenny Lintula in 8th position, definitely wants to improve his score to make sure he is in the finals. Goes nice and deep on this left side, a double 1080. 3 full rotations, 2 times off axis. Then a 450 out on the straight tube. Going switch on the last feature. 270 high, 270 out on the last rail. It is a full run by Lenny Lintula. I am, pretty sure he will improve his first score of 48.33. I didn't see major mistakes. This is definitely going to make it easier for him to stay in those first 8 positions. But right now we only have 2 riders who can potentially change things up for tomorrow's finals. Stefan Drabik for his for his second run, closing things down for heat number 1. Nice and deep, this 720. Smooth for the Polish rider. 270 out. Needs to insert something on this last feature. Slides all the way down to the bottom of it. Nice and smooth. Definitely a lot of style points for our Polish rider. I don't think he will be able to enter the first 8 positions, but still a wonderful performance by Stefan Drabik, Polish rider. And now closing things off with the youngest rider of today, born in 2014, Bartłomiej Mietus from Poland. Left side 360, lands a little bit short. Not sure if this is going to be enough to get into those first 8 positions. Slides 50-50, nice and smooth on the first rail feature, and then closes things up with his run number 2. So this is officially our first heat done for today here in Madonna di Campiglio for the World Rookie Freeski Finals. Today it is qualification days. So if you have just connected yourself to the live stream, first of all, welcome to Madonna di Campiglio. Welcome to the World Rookie Tour Finals. Today it is qualification days. We have just finished the heat number 2, the first 2 runs for each rider. 8 athletes go through to the finals. We have our Alex Putzer from Italy with a 95, leading heat number 1 with a massive score. He will be qualified for tomorrow's finals. And then we have Kalle Palkinen from Finland with a 90, Rafael Natter from Austria with an 80.33, Neo Zing from Switzerland with a 59, William Kangas with a 53 from Finland in 5th position, Tobias Longa in 6th position with a 50 from Italy. So 2 Italian free skiers in the finals from heat number 1. And then in 7th position, Leo Brucic from Austria with a 49. And then closing things down for heat number 1, we have the Finnish rider Lenni Lintula. And these are our qualified riders for tomorrow. So we have just finished our first part of our live streaming today here in Madonna di Campiglio. Make sure you reconnect yourself to our live stream at 1:30. So 13.30, 1:30 p.m. we will have a training session, actually a reshape session. So our park crew will fix all of the course in order to have a perfect condition also for heat number 2. And at that point, we will begin with a training session of approximately an hour and a half. And then at that point, we will then begin with qualifications for heat number 2. It's been a pleasure to be here with you guys, warming up for these days here at the World Rookie Tour. See you in a little while. Go grab some food, and I'm gonna see you back here in the booth for heat number 2 qualifications.
Welcome to everybody here at the World Rookie Freeski Finals. My name is Ursus Snowpark. I'm a
welcome to the qualification rounds here in Madonna di Campiglio. We are here at the World Rookie Tour Finals. It is the second last day for Slopestyle. Tomorrow we're going to have the finals, but soon we're going to begin with the second heat. We already had heat number 1, and it was already like an amazing show. So 8 riders going through heat number 2. It's going to be absolutely spectacular here in Madonna di Campiglio. The riders are ready. And the first rider to drop in for heat number 2 is Anthony Greyet from Switzerland for his first run. Nice little 450 out on the first rail. Then little switch up and finishes off his first run with a little mistake. But yeah, hopefully in run number 2 he will be able to improve that. And we're here for Anthony Greyet, run number 1. In this case, it is a great and beautiful day here in Madonna di Campiglio. Ready for our heat number 2. We had heat number 1, 8 riders going through to the finals. Finals will take place tomorrow, so it's going to be a very exciting week for all of these young athletes. Of course, at the World Rookie Tour, a full season of competing to reach this final stage of this year's competition. And yeah, we're on our way. Second rider to drop in, Switzerland, with their first 3 rider dropping in for run number 1 in heat number 2. Only 8 riders will pass through. It's 3 Swiss riders at the moment in the first 3 positions. And let's go with Luis Iseli, run number 1. Nice little bring back, going for that technical / creative trick, 540 back to 360, but lands way too slow on the second jump. Actually doesn't have enough speed to clear the second jump, so it will be a throwaway run for Luis Iseli. That finishes off his first run, and we'll have another chance in run number 2 to prove himself and potentially enter the first 8 positions. Nice little replay here. I love the fact that he just inserted a bring back, essentially bringing back the rotation from 540 degrees, so a rotation and a half, back to 360. So very technical trick. And now Edi Schuller, the 3rd Swiss for heat number 2, dropping in. Nice bio 900 on the first hit. Sending it on the second one. Misty 720 lands a little bit short. Seems like there are a few issues with speed at the moment. They're having a little bit of trouble right now. We are on our way. Heat number 2. It is going to be a spectacular qualification round, and tomorrow, I remind you that we will have the finals. 8 riders from each heat will pass through to the finals. We already had heat number 1. And yeah, we're sending it with our riders. Eddie Schuler completing his run number 1. He will have one more chance. He had a little bit of trouble with the speed on the second jump, but he still has one more chance to be in the first 8 positions and maybe dream a spot in the finals that will take tomorrow. Will take place tomorrow. Now we have Emils Egl for his run number 1. The Latvian athlete going in switch. Nice little corked out switch, 541 rotation and a half. Then goes Pretzel, 270 out. And 270 in on the last rail. And we are on our way. Our first riders have dropped. It is heat number 2. And we are ready for our 5th rider of heat number 2. If you were connected with us this morning, we had the best score of our day by Alex Putzer, our Italian, with a 95, a massive score for the Italian rider, free skier. And now we have Jonas Fichtinger from Austria, falls on the first feature. That is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, a fall on the first feature, of course, won't enable you to get a full score for your run. Therefore, he will have to focus on run number 2. That is our format. 2 runs available for each rider. Just going to take a little bit of time to recover his skis, of course. And we're going to be on our way. Luckily, no injuries, of course. Part of the game. Falling and potentially not completing some of the tricks. But that is what free skiing is about. Trying to push your limits. Trying to bring tricks that, of course, you have already worked on. But trying to be right on that edge of the tricks that could potentially get you a high score and potentially get you through to the finals here at the World Rookie Tour Finals. Today it is a qualification day. The sun is shining, not much wind as well, so conditions are prime for a session here in the Madonna di Campiglio. Amazing work by the whole crew. And now, again from Austria, Daniel Starr, rookie, going for the right side 900 on the first kicker. Now in a switch 540. There seems to be a bit of trouble with the speed on the second jump, which of course then creates a chain reaction for the third jump. He manages still to squeeze in that little 900, left side 900, but unfortunately landing a little bit short. You want to show the judges amplitude and precision, and precise was this last rail, little switch up 270 out on the last feature. Very, very smooth and stylish. Jonas Fichtinger, Daniel Starr, the other Austrian. We already saw Jonas Fichtinger in the previous run. And now our first Italian for run number 1 in the second heat. Our Italian just got the best score in the first heat of the day with a 95, a massive score with a 1080, a 1260, and another switch 1080. So definitely setting the bar for today. It is going to be a show, the finals. Super interested to see and curious to see actually what tricks will be brought into the finals, because this is a rookie competition, but actually most of these riders are competing in some of the best, of course, the most elite competitions in the world, and the World Rookie Tour is definitely one of those tours that will bring you towards the highest level in the whole world. It is a launching grid for all of these young athletes, and we have right now Liam Gamper, our Italian, with a nice 1260, sending it on the second jump. Double 1260, 3.5 full rotations. A little sketchy on that switch 720, but definitely very, very powerful on that second kicker. Goes on with that 450 out. Can't really hold on to the last part of the rotation. Oh, and that's such a pity. The last rail, a series of small mistakes, not big mistakes. I mean, there was a big trick on the second kicker. Let's see it again. Left side double 1260 sends it all the way down to the bottom of the landing. And then the rail section, bit of indecision on the landing of the first rail feature, and then skips slightly, or slides slightly early on the last rail. That is definitely something the judges will take into account. The judges are looking for amplitude, they're looking for creativity, they're looking for flow, and they're looking for technicality. And Noel Nilivara starts off with this nice Bio 900, starting off in switch. Double 1080 on the second jump. It's going to be a good... Whoa! And goes for the 14 on the last jump, sending it all the way down the bottom of the landing. Nice little 630 out on the flat tube. And then in switch in the last section, switch up. Closes down a very, very solid run. The Finnish rider. We already saw some Finnish riders in our first heat of the day. But that was definitely a smooth run by the Finnish rider. Definitely some good chances for the Finnish rider. Let's see where the judges will place him. Currently we have Daniel Starr, the Austrian, in first place with a 55.33, and then followed by Anthony Greye with a 50. During run number heat number 1, the score to beat was approximately of 50 points. So it might be enough to get into the finals, but you do not want to spend your time in the bubble in that uncomfortable position within your heat in 7th or 8th place. Another Italian dropping in right now. We have Jonas Gaslitter. For those of you who have going for the double 12, can't hold on to it. For those of you who have followed us during the Olympics, the sister, Maria Gaslitter, absolutely sending it during the slopestyle and the big air competitions in Livigno, getting into the finals in both events. And now the young brother also on a path towards success, a path towards professional free skiing. Of course, you have to go through the World Rookie Tour. That's where you start. That's where you make your bones. And once you have that solid base, then you can approach the big stages. But this is already one of the best and biggest stages in the world. And we're going to go on with Ziemowit Stanko. Polish rider going for that left side double 1080. Sending it all the way to the bottom. No rotations on the first rail. Let's see on the second section. Little pretzel 270 out. Definitely will want to improve his run. A couple mistakes on the first jumps. Will want to definitely improve that 360. Some trouble with the speed on the second jump for sure. And on the last jump, actually, Ziemowit Stanko with his best trick. The double 1080, 3 full rotations, 2 times off axis. And now the next rider to drop in, again from Finland, Veikka Virtanen. Finland that has always worked so well in freestyle skiing. A lot of elite athletes in both snowboarding and in freestyle skiing, going with a right side 720. Left side double 1260, stomps it on the second kicker. And then on the last feature, switch 900. Loses a bit of control on the central section of the trick, but manages to close it down. Now he has to stay focused on this last section. 450 out on the rail. Now in switch. Switch up, 270 out. Full run for the Finnish rider, Veikka Virtanen. This is definitely going to be a good, solid base for his qualifications. He will definitely want to improve his third feature, the third jump with a switch 900. We can see it here. Loses a little bit of control on the last section of the rotation. Judges will be counting those little mistakes, and they do add up in the end. Criteria is fundamental whenever you find yourself in these competitions. You have to really think about creativity, technicality, finding that balance, trying to, of course, show your hardest and most technical tricks. But in this case, we're talking about going through to the finals. So making it within the first 8 spots available in heat number 2. And Veikka Virtanen gets a 71, so he can definitely improve his score, but he is currently in first place for heat number 2 now. His teammate, once more from Finland, sending it. Nice little double on the second kicker. And the double 900 on the last feature. Nice and deep in the landing. That's what we want to see. Amplitude is absolutely fundamental. You have to go. And he is definitely stoked with his run. And we are also stoked with his run. I'm curious to see the replay. I kind of lost the second trick, so I would love to see it again. A little bit of a bubble on that switch 540, but this 1260 was very well executed. And then the switch 900. So he can definitely improve his performance by cleaning up and working on that first feature on the first jump. But that is definitely a good score to start with. We're going to see where the judges are gonna insert our Finnish rider. Currently we have 2 Finns in the first 2 positions. We have Veikka Virtanen in first place with 71 and Noel Nilivara with a 60.67 in second place. And Lassi Nurmela jumps into first position with a 79.33. That is a big score for the Finnish rider. Right now we have the first three positions that are dominated by Finns, but we have one more Italian, Filippo Farina, going for the right side, 720, landing a little bit short in this case. He has to build up his run in the second part of the course. Left side, 900, 2.5 full rotations. Now approaching the rail in switch. And closes off his run with a nice and smooth performance. Run number one. Let's see a little replay of Filippo Farina's performance. He still has one more run available. I'll remind you the structure of the qualifications. It is a 2-run format. The best one counts. Only 8 riders will go through to the finals. What a day, guys. Madonna di Campiglio actually delivering the best weather in the world. The riders seem happy. The level is insane already in these first qualifying rounds. Might I remind you that this is just the qualifications. 8 riders will go through. Currently we have 3 Finns in the first 3 positions, but things are not over, guys. There's still a full first run and a second run for most of the riders, so stay here with us. And now another Italian for us. We have Emil Visintainer Kuprian Grom. So in the younger category, that is also something very important to talk about. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake on the first kicker. And right side tries to recover, catch up with some points in this second section. Meanwhile, Filippo Farina with a smooth run bounces back up with a 65.33. And closes off his run with a 270 in, 270. I mean, there was a little bit of a mistake on the first kicker, but he really managed to reset his mind. That is what real professionals do. A little mistake will not stop you from getting a decent score. Might not be the highest score of the day, of course, but still managed to be nice and smooth in the second section of the park. And that is definitely something that the judges appreciate. And in a situation where in 8th place we have Emils Egl with a 38.67, every point counts. You never know how these qualifications might go. You really do need to catch up with every single point available and potentially end up in the first 8 positions. And now a Dutch rider, the only Dutch rider in our field, dropping in for his first run. Nice switch, 720 by Griffin Van Essen. Oh, and then unfortunately does not have enough speed for the second jump. And closes down his first run. Super young rider. Class 2012, guys. And that's how we're splitting up our field between rookie men and Grom men. Of course, the older generation, the rookie, will be then moving on to the big leagues. But you never know. We have so many young talents in these sports, the actual like median age of most of these freestyle athletes in both freestyle skiing and freestyle snowboarding has really decreased within like the last 10 years or something. And it has been amazing to see all this new generation, and I think the Rookie Tour is definitely the way to grow within this field and start to test yourself with other athletes of your same age, of course, at the same level, and potentially make your first mark in the history of this sport. Now we have from Poland, Stanislav Gaura for his run number 1. They are starting to tape up their pants. That is not a fashion choice, but it is actually to improve aerodynamics and try to hit the features faster, because it seems like they're having a little bit of trouble with the speed on the second jump. You can see really people ducking and trying to crouch to get as much speed as possible, reducing the air drag in between jumps. Of course, being a little on the light side, so being light in general. Of course, these are super young kids. They don't have a lot of muscle mass on them or height, but they can push their limits and they can do big tricks once they do have enough speed. Of course, the weight is a little bit of an issue at times, but this is not demotivating or slowing down these athletes. As we can see, Henry Flück super focused here for his first run. Let's see what he has for his first performance of the day here in heat number 2. Now we're just having a little, there's a little delay, of course, given by the judges. The judges have to insert each rider within these rankings, and they just need time to reset and be ready for the next rider. And we are ready for our last rider for run number 1 in switch. Going switch 540, going nice and deep on the first jump. And then a big 720 left side on the second feature. And then goes once more left side 900, so rotating twice in the same direction. That is something that judges will definitely take into account. I think there is some issue with the ski. He had to stop completely. So this will be a throwaway run for the rider with bib 617, Henry Flück. He will have another opportunity, another chance in run number 2 to potentially insert himself in the first 8 positions. 8 riders will be joining the already qualified 8 riders from heat number 1. Tomorrow we will have the finals here for the World Rookie Freeski Finals. Of course, it is the last event for the season, big event for freestyle skiing for these young athletes, the young generation that has to still prove themselves within the big stages of these competitions. Very exciting year for Italy as well, with the Olympics that have just been concluded. Our Italian Flora Tabanelli absolutely crushing it with a bronze medal, first medal in history for freestyle in freestyle skiing and snowboarding. So a crazy achievement by our legend, I'd say, 18 years old Flora Tabanelli. Super young, but already an absolute boss in freestyle skiing. And she's definitely inspiring the next generation of athletes, of young athletes. And that's exactly what we want to do. Inspire more people to participate in freestyle skiing. It is one of the funnest events and funnest sports in the world. Anthony Greyer for his run number 2 has to clean up things. in order to jump into a higher position, currently in 6th position with a 50. And he will want to definitely improve his score in order to assure himself a spot in the finals. Little switch up in the final section, goes out a little early. It might be enough to get through, might be enough to improve his first score. But yeah, currently with a pretty solid score, a 50. He is within the first 8 positions, but there are some athletes that have not completed their runs. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the actual final ranking to conclude itself. And yeah, you never know. You never know with these formats. 2-run formats, best one counts. You might be the last rider to drop. We've already seen it in so many competitions. You might be the last rider to drop of the day, and you could create some major upsets and some major good energies for yourself if you are able to stick it on the last chance of the day. Each rider has 2 possibilities in order to get into the finals. We have already concluded run number 1. We are at the second rider for run number 2. Luis Iseli with a 10.67, still out of those first 8 positions, now has to really focus on his next run and try to stomp it in order to get into these finals. Currently we have Diemovit Stanko in 8th position with a 42.67. And we have Daniel Starr, who improved actually his score, went up to 55.33, did not improve in the ranking itself. He's still in 6th place, but it will impact of course the final ranking, because he did improve his score. Nice little misty 720 by Luis Iseli, sending it nice and smooth. That's exactly what the judges want to see. Flow and style, not only big tricks. 270 out on the rail. This is actually becoming interesting run. Goes for a technical trick, 360 switch up on the 2 final rails. It is a single feature, but you can gap the section in the middle in order to rotate and land again on the rail. Nice and smooth, going for no major 900s, but showing variety, showing creativity, showing flow. So I am pretty sure this might be a good score, because that's often what happens during these competitions. Maybe someone focuses a little too much on those technical tricks, and then you end up not being able to connect well your tricks to ride in a smooth manner, and this will definitely impact your final score. I'm actually pretty curious to see where he will be inserted within this ranking. I mean, I'm not a judge. I'm just a passionate guy who loves freestyle skiing and snowboard freestyle. And yeah, I'm just curious to see where Luis Iseli will be inserted within this specific ranking, because this might impact also the approach, the strategic approach that each rider might take for the next runs. Because if you dial down the technicality of your run and smooth it up to the maximum level, you might actually be able to sneak in the finals. And this is the objective of today. You don't have to win the finals, you just have to be in those first 8 positions. It will impact the starting list, where you will place yourself within those first 8 positions and within the first 16 positions in this case, because we have a heat number 1 and heat number 2. But it doesn't actually have an impact on your final. So the objective right now is just to get into those first 8 positions. And Luis Iseli actually gets into those first 8 positions and scored a 50.33. So actually his approach worked, his strategy worked, and we're going to see if he can hold on to that 7th place. Going nice and deep. Also, Eddie Schuler opening up a little bit on the last kicker with that 720. But, yeah, definitely a decent run by the Swiss rider. Trying to get that little technical rail trick. Closes things down with his switch up. He's pretty satisfied with his run. I mean, some little mistakes on the jumps opened up a little bit on the last jump, especially. That is definitely already something that the judges will take into account. But very smooth, Misty on 720 on that second kicker. You see here his skis kind of opened up. Didn't show a lot of control on that final section of the 720. I'm just curious to see where the judges will place him, but I'm not sure if he will beat the score of Luis Iseli, his teammate, in this case. A score of 50.33. Currently, Eddie Schuler with a 13.67 is in 13th place. Definitely not the spot you want to be. Let's see if he can beat the score. Actually, right now, the athlete in the bubble, in that uncomfortable position where you're not sure if you're going to get through to the finals or if your slopestyle adventure will finish today, is taken up by Emil Lukas Wiesentiner Kuprian, who has a score of 46.67, and we'll see if he can last in that position. But he still has a second run. He's one of the last riders to drop, so he can definitely improve his score. And he will definitely try to improve his score, because you don't want to be in that position all the way down to the end of the live. Emils Egl, Latvian rider, only Latvian rider, with a 38.67, has to improve. Goes for a nice little flat spin. Right side 900. Holds on to it now in switch on the last kicker. Switch underflip 540. Lands a little bit short on that kicker. That is not something you want to see. And then he's not too satisfied. Of course, he knows already that there were some mistakes. And then last mistake. It is hard to keep that focus after a few indecisions during your run. But let's see his run right now. Not a bad performance, definitely a decent performance by the Latvian rider, but landing a little bit short. I don't think he's going to improve his score, and that is why we are bouncing straight back into the competition with Jonas Fichtinger, who fell on the first feature, so has to deliver right now. Bit of pressure for the Austrian rider. Going for the right side 720, nice and smooth. Left side 900, manages to land it this time. It is definitely going to improve his score. Now he has to stay focused on this last section of the course. Going in switch on the first rail feature. See if he can hold on to the last feature. Pretzel 270, and he closes it up a little, almost a safety trick on the last feature. But I think it was a great approach, strategic approach, trying to get everything nice and smooth. He was very well placed on the kickers. This 900 was absolute bomb, landing in switch and landing halfway down the landing, and that's definitely something that the judges want to see. And then the little pretzel 270 out on the last feature. He was in 17th place. We were just talking about this earlier. You never know when the next rider will stomp his run and shake things up on on the in the ranking in general. Oh, and actually, Edi Schuler gets a 52.33 and goes just above Luis Iseli. So smooth tricks, big tricks are really helping out in this case. And yeah, right now we have two smooth runs in 7th and 8th place. Of course, you want to try to be a little bit higher up in the ranking. And meanwhile, amazing images from this beautiful day in Madonna di Campiglio. Magical, magical day here. The sun is out. Conditions are absolutely amazing. The view here, the Dolomites, some of the most beautiful mountains in the world, are really the perfect panorama for this competition. But it is not over. We're still in run number 2 with Daniel Starr going a little too overboard on that first trick. Can't hold on to the rotation. And I think it's going to be it for... No, it's not going to be it, because we're still in contention for the first 8 spots. We have a 55.33 for Daniel Starr. So hopefully he can hold on to that position. But he is in a pretty uncomfortable position right now. And meanwhile, Luis Iseli got kicked out of the first 8 positions. He is now in 9th place with a 50.33. And right now, the score to beat is 52.33. Next rider is the Italian Liam Gamper. Definitely not a very Italian name, but representing our colors. I myself am Italian, and I don't have a very Italian name. So, and yeah, Liam Gamper for his second run, going nice and smooth on that right side, 720. Oh, a little bit of a mistake on the landing. That is not something we want to see. We wanted to see a full run by our Italian rider. Currently, we have Filippo Farina in 4th place with a 65.33. And we still have Emil Lucas Visintainer Kuprian, who has to complete his second run and is currently in 10th place. But bit of a pity for Liam Gamper, who started his run in, I think, with the right energy, but couldn't deliver in run number 2. But now Noel Nilivara with the 5th highest score of heat number 2. Oh, nice, going for a sick double cork, 1080, 3 full rotations, right side, and then the left side, sending it on the 3rd jump. Definitely the Finns, some of the most technical riders on the rails, going in switch on this last section. Switch up and finishes up his run. Let's see if he can improve his score of 60.67. That is definitely something that we will want to see. Nice little axis on the 3rd jump. And now closes down his second run, the Finnish rider, Noel Nilivara. He might actually improve his score of 60.67. I'm pretty sure it was already enough to get him into the finals. But now, back on track with Jonas Gaslitter, brother of Maria Gaslitter. For those of you who have followed the Olympics, Maria Gaslitter actually managed to get into 2 finals, both big air and slopestyle, which was some something just insane and amazing to see. We had, of course, Flora Tamanelli getting a bronze medal, so a historic result for Italian free skiing and for freestyle in general in Italy. But Maria Gaslitter actually delivering 2 finals, both in slopestyle and big air. Actually, Flora Tabanelli didn't participate in the qualification rounds of the slopestyle, just so she would be nice and ready for... Oh, he manages to hold on to that double cork 1080. Let's see if he has enough speed to get to the other side of the kicker. Lands a little bit short. Jonas Gaslitter, who was actually building up a very, very interesting run. 450 out. Pretzel on the rail. And a nice little switch up to 70 just to finish things up. But I am not sure if that mistake will cost him too much in this case. He started off very well with that switch bio 900, and now we can see, like, with that left side 1080, a little bit of indecision on the landing, and then just landing a little bit short on the third kicker, finishing things off with that little switch up. I love it. Nice and steezy and nice and precise in all sections. I think a bit of indecisions, mainly on the second jump and on the third jump, landing a little bit short. That is definitely going to cost him a lot of points with the judges. The judges want to see a smooth run amplitude, so landing down, of course, the course with more speed, not landing right on the knuckles, so not going short, is fundamental. We saw it as well during the Olympics. If you have followed the big air finals for freestyle skiing, the guys were absolutely sending it to the bottom of the landings, and that's exactly what the judges want to see. They love seeing big tricks, big tricks. And what a day, what a day. We're getting close to the end of heat number 2. We already concluded our heat number 1 this morning with the first 8 riders, but we still have 8 riders that need to be confirmed for the finals of tomorrow. Things are going amazing. The riders are actually handling the speed very well, so stay with us because it's going to be an amazing last part of the show for today with the qualifications of heat number 2. Now we have Ziemovit Stanko, who is currently in 11th place right now with a 42.67. So actually looking at the first 8 places from the outside. And yeah, he is definitely dreaming one of those spots, one of those first 8 spots available to jump into the finals that will take place tomorrow, guys. Remember, set your alarm. It is going to be an amazing show. Every year, the World Rookie Freeski Finals really bring the best out of these youngsters. It is one of the most amazing stages, and I think Madonna di Campiglio is one of the most beautiful parks in general. I feel like the Dolomites, of course, if you know the Dolomites, you know how beautiful these mountains are, and just having the Dolomia, so the specific rock that creates these mountains so close to the park, just creates this amazing atmosphere. All the kids are enjoying themselves. They are, of course, very focused and very performance driven, but I think the main thing that you need to have in freestyle skiing, in freestyle snowboarding, in all these freestyle sports is having fun. Having fun is fundamental, and having a blue sky with a perfect park and just a perfect crew and perfect organization definitely helps these athletes to enjoy themselves and have fun. And now we're just waiting a little more for the judges to insert our athletes within the ranking. But right now the 2 highest scores for heat number 2 are by the 2 Finns, Noel Nilivara and Lassi Nurmela. And Noel Nilivara with a big score of 88.67. And then Veikka Virtanen, the other Finn, in 4th place. And the 3 Finns are divided only by Jonas Fichtinger in 3rd place with a 76. Okay, so right now we are just waiting for a few minutes because we do have a little bit of wind. I was just saying how good the conditions were at the moment, but of course we can't predict what the weather conditions will be. The sun is out. We didn't have much wind earlier, but I think right now it has picked up, and usually when it's also in the wrong direction, so if it goes uphill, so towards the jumps, it can really slow you down. And that is why some of the athletes actually duct taped their pants to make themselves more aerodynamic and try to streamline through this wind. So just a few moments of break, and we will be right back as soon as the action will pick up. And we are back on track after this little break. Of course, the wind is still present right now, but it's going to get better and better, hopefully. Nice little 720 saves it, Veikka Virtanen. Then 180 out from the second jump. And a switch 900 on the last feature. I think Veikka Virtanen knows that it might be a throwaway run. Not pushing too much, 270 out. He is currently actually in 4th place, so a very comfortable position for the Finnish rider. We have only 6 riders left, so we are starting with the countdown for heat number 2. 8 riders will go through to the finals tomorrow. It will be an amazing show, but we still have a few riders that might sneak in these finals. The score to beat is 55.33. And it is the score of Daniel Starr. Now Lassi Nurmela is in 2nd place, so he is absolutely taking it easy and going with these super steezy tricks. Of course, this will be a throwaway run. It will not improve his first score of 79.33. But he is mathematically actually in the finals because it's only 5 riders left. He is in 2nd place. So he is officially qualified. Actually, we have 3 riders who are officially qualified. Noel Nilivara, Lassi Nurmela, and Jonas Fichtinger. But you never know good runs might actually slip in these last moments of the competition. Filippo Farina, who is actually in a very, very good spot with a 65.33, going for this nice 900 on the last feature, holds on to it. He has a score of 65.33, but he definitely wants to improve it slightly just to be a little extra comfortable in these conditions. 270 in, 270 out, and closes down his run. Actually, a really good run by Filippo Farina. Nice and smooth. Let's see the replay. If there were a little bit of indecisions, didn't seem like it. Lands a little bit short on that kicker. That is definitely something that the judges will take into account. But a nice 900 on the last jump. He might not improve actually his first score. But an athlete that is currently out of the first 8 positions and that can still dream a spot in the finals for tomorrow. It is Emil Lukas Visintainer Kuprian, ready for his run number 2. Starting off in switch. Switch 540 on the first jump. Heading over to the right side. 720 lands a little bit short. I think this wind is actually creating some problems for these riders, but goes for a smooth run. Left side 720. Nice and clean. Goes pretzel on the first rail. Pretzel 450, and then full run, still hyped on his performance. And I think he has very good chances of staying in the first 8 positions. We still have four riders actually who have to complete their runs. He is just on the limit. If it were 3 athletes, he would actually be safe. But with 4 athletes, might be a bit of stress. And actually, it's only 3 riders. No, it's only 3 riders. We have Griffin Van Essen, our next rider, and then Stanislav Gaura and Henry Fluke to conclude our heat number 2. So officially qualified for the finals. Filippo Farina in 5th place settles the dust and grabs one of these spots available currently this heat, dominated by the Finns. But the highest score of the day is still of our Italian Alex Putzer with a 95 on Noel Nilivara. Got a score of 88.67, but of course the objective right now is not to get the highest score possible, but it is to get into the finals. We're just waiting again a few instances just to make sure that we don't have strong wind howling through the course. The wind is definitely one of the factors that can disturb the most a performance. And it is all about timing right now, timing the correct moment to drop in order to have the least amount of wind on the course. You don't want to land short. We had a few good runs with good amplitude, and that definitely paid off. Just waiting a few moments for the wind to settle. Now just a few moments of visualization, that is fundamental before you drop into your run. You have to kind of feel it. You have to be able to imagine it within your mind, just to be able to absorb it in your muscle memory, and then just have that confidence to bring it out in the right moment, especially when you are under pressure. And I feel like the World Rookie Tour in general is such a good way to prepare yourself for bigger stages, for bigger competitions. All these young athletes are here dreaming to enter the elite tournaments and elite competitions. Wow, big switch 720 by Griffin Van Essen. Definitely waiting for the right moment. Switch 540. Now he has to really crouch down to use all the speed available for the last jump. Big left side 720. Manages to complete the 3 jumps. Now all he has to do is complete the last section. Oh, a little bit of trouble on that landing. Gaps the rail and does a nice pretzel 270 out. So definitely upping the score from his run number 1. I'm pretty sure he will move from 17th place. He had a score of 9.33, but he had trouble on the second feature, so that is absolutely normal. And now he will get a full score, really pushing well on that last feature, trying to get that amplitude, jumping as high as possible. That is something also that the judges love to see. If you're popping out of the kicker, alling out of the kicker in the best possible way, so that you can create the highest amplitude or the biggest amplitude you can create within this specific course, and that will bring you extra points. That is 100% sure. It's either massive creative tricks, big technical tricks, or very, very, very deep landings. That usually helps a lot your score. And we're getting close to the end of heat number 2 with Stanislav Gaura for his run number 2 from Poland. So waiting for the wind conditions to settle in order to have the right amount of speed to clear the jumps. You don't want to land short. We were just talking about amplitude, how important it is for the judges. It is actually fundamental, getting a little push from the coach just to get a little extra speed when jumping in the first feature in switch 360 on the first jump, but probably wanted to go for a switch 540, I am guessing, and can't complete his run. Definitely a great experience for the Polish free skier Stanislav Gaura. These are all moments that will help you in the future. Super young rider, born in 2013, so extremely young rider. Of course, a long career ahead of him. And these are all moments that he will remember, all moments that will help him in the future. But one last rider to make the difference today. The only athlete that is not sure to make it 100% in the finals, it is Daniel Starr in 8th place. And Henry Fluke has one more chance to shake up the first 8 positions. No, and he falls on the first feature. That is such a pity for the Swiss rider, trying to insert some creative elements within his run. Big smiles. It's always good to see riders smiling and still celebrating even after a crash or 2 crashes. In this case, he will not be making it into the finals. He actually is in 17th place. But once more, just like we were talking about earlier with Stanislav Gaura, great experience. Also, Henry Fluke is 2013, so a long career ahead of him. It is such a pleasure to see all of these athletes here, and it has been an amazing heat number 2. So here it is. We just ended the heat number 2 for today. We had 8 riders who are going through the finals of tomorrow, and now we officially have the 8 riders also for heat number 2. It is going to be 16 riders tomorrow again, once more here in Madonna di Campiglio. So set your alarm, and you're gonna find us right here in this booth. I'm very excited. We're so close to the course as well. I hope it's gonna be nice and sunny, and there will be no wind, because that is definitely a big factor, but it will be an exciting final. So see you tomorrow, guys.